I had wings, y'all. A dream I was running, and I had wings, flew across the plain, out into the wind in which I came from that narrow road. Heaven is the show. Do you wanna go? I dream my mother.
My name is Diana Nika, and I'm a journalist from New York. On August 24, 2006, I joined the Hear Me Now listening tour through 7 cities of the Gulf South, where dozens of women were finally able to share stories of rebuilding their lives 1 year after Hurricane Katrina struck. The tour was launched by the National Coalition on Black Civic Participation to find out how they could best help the women, give them a voice and a sense of connectedness.
So here we are a year later, and we're here to listen. We're here to learn from you. We're here to try to figure out what is it that we can do from our small little thing that we can do, because everybody does a little bit more. A whole lot more can happen.
With the support of the Opportunity Agenda, I went down to find out firsthand what I wasn't being told by the mainstream media. These are the stories of the women of Katrina. Gulfport resident Mary Spinks Thigpen welcomed us at a community luncheon at Forest Heights Baptist Church. It was important to hear from women like her what life is like down here.
And there are people that have died from carbon monoxide poisoning in the trailers. I've been to the emergency room with carbon monoxide poisoning. So it's not cute. It may look like we're all right because they gave us a FEMA trailer. Oh no, we are suffering.
She also led us into the trailer she now calls home and the house she must let go of.
Yes, ma'am, I have to tear my house down according to the United States rule from FEMA that if your home is 50% and over damaged from flooding, then you must elevate your home. So to elevate it as a brick house on the slab would cost $100,000 and some, and the bricks may fall anyway. It's one of the hardest things with people coming in to help. They don't quite understand what we want to save. If it's a teacup and we lost everything else, let us have the teacup.
Some women are lucky enough to have a roof over their head, but not for long. I ran into a woman at the Gulfport listening session who told us about a public housing development that will soon be shut down for a private development. I wonder how something like that happens with such efficiency and speed when all other policies and services are moving so slowly.
Well, the whole point of public housing was for people of, low income. It's just for those who can't do the things that they would like to do because of the income that they have. So this is what we call affordable housing. And, if you take that away, it won't be affordable anymore.
People with the jobs out here, they don't make as much money. They make like $6.25 an hour. And they work like 40 hours a week. That's not enough money to be paying the rent, the light bills.
Other women have been able to keep their homes and rebuild, but with insurance paying out only a fraction of what they ought to, they're stuck in cramped trailers on their front lawns.
I never thought it would take this long to get back in a house. Everybody was saying up to a year, but it just didn't seem like it would take that long. Now the year is up and we're still not in the house. And these are my grandkids. And they can't stay with Granny because the house is not fixed yet. They're just waiting, the girls are waiting to get the house so they can have a tea party.
Mrs. Nelson also cares for her injured husband and disabled son, who until recently was wheelchair-bound.
My son have gout real bad, and sometimes he's not even able to walk because of that gout. It gets in his hand, feet, back, everywhere, all over. This is where my son, Fred Jr., lives. Wheelchair is access to this trailer here.
How do you feel 1 year later after the storm?
I'm still in a FEMA trailer and don't like it too much, too squeezed up.
Bishop Williams is one of several faith leaders who joined the tour.
That if we don't stand for something, we'll fall for anything.
She herself is a New Orleans evacuee who now calls Lafayette home. Her new church is Imani Temple number 49, a cornerstone of the community here. The Black church holds this community together. They've come in when their people have been forsaken, as a hub for information on accessing help, as a comforter, and as a sanctuary for those afraid of going into a government office for help.
I am participating on the bus tour, one as a Katrina survivor, having lost one of my churches in New Orleans, Imani Temple number 28, and having many of my members become part of the Katrina diaspora. It became a very apparent to me that many of my members who are scattered throughout the United States want to come home.
We must begin to understand that as a people, we have a right to take our destiny into our own hand.
You know, women, we're the caretakers. So immediately after Katrina, we jumped in to take care of our families, to take care of our husbands, to take care of our children, but did not take time to take care of ourselves. And this is a very unique situation in that you had such a catastrophe, such a natural disaster, where now we're seeing many women who are suffering from post-traumatic stress disorders who did not get any assistance.
In visiting these women and simply offering to listen, we learned how alone they felt with their hardships and how eager they were to share their stories. On this bus tour, several of us broke down, exhausted and overwhelmed. How do these women do it? How do they remain optimistic while being so totally ignored by the powers that be, stretched to the breaking point with barely a roof over their heads, with no assurance tomorrow will be better? But this tour was not about crying. It was about connecting with these women and connecting them to other women like them. Melanie Campbell, Bishop Williams, and others are excavating their stories and building a pipeline to bring those stories to the places where decisions get made.
There's a part of me that feels challenged to not disappoint the people that we've come across.
So what we need to do is listen and let the women of Katrina show us a way forward.
Where there lies difficulty, there lies a challenge. And where there lies a challenge, there is a solution. A song full of the hope that the present has brought us, facing the rising sun of a new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Bishop Washington.
A dream I was running and I had wings, oh. A dream I was running and I had wings, flew across the plain, out into the wind in which I came from that narrow road. Heaven is the show. Do you wanna go? A dream my mother brought me and she's sorry. A dream my mother brought